Good afternoon and welcome to Birmingham. Thank you for making sure this weekend I wanted to stay in my home city, knowing the Tory conference was happening in my city centre. And we've got several messages for the Tory conference. We have been told so many lies, and the fact they tell these lies so brazenly and so frequently that people actually start to take them as the givens, and then they start to believe the other lie, that there is no alternative. And they want to say that people like you and I, when we say that we're against austerity, that austerity has failed, that we have not got an alternative. But actually we have. I'm just going to go through a few simple truths, because I think truth is the answer to falsehood and to lies. And it's important that we give people hope, not just the people who are passionate and have come today and who are absolutely vital for the movement, but for all of those who have been betrayed and lied to and have succumbed to the despair which has been quite deliberately created. So when they say that this country cannot afford its welfare state, that's a lie. We have a welfare state primarily actually for the welfare of the rich. We would not need such a massive housing benefit bill if we had the right number of houses in the first place. 21 billion. Let me repeat that. 21 billion pounds a year is going to pay landlords because this country is not building the housing that's needed for its people, pushing up private rent, as well as squeezing out people who have relied on council housing. That's not going to the poorest in society, that's going to the landlords of our society. And when they say that this Tory government stands for hard-working people, that sly, cunning device that they use to divide people, that again is a lie. The majority of people who are forced to ask for welfare benefits, nobody likes to, but they are forced to, are people actually who are already in work, but their wages do not cover their basic living costs. So it's the employers. Their employers are the ones who are benefiting from the tax credits, not the people who are working, because they're working all hours of the week anyway. So yes, we do need welfare reform. We need welfare reform to ensure that it's the poor who are not made vulnerable in the first place, so we don't need the kind of welfare benefits that they're forced to rely on by this government and the government before it. And again, when they talk about the shirkers, and they talk about the fraudsters, they're really telling us it's about the benefit cheats. Well, let me tell you what their own stats tell them. Benefit fraud at the most, let's look at the stark, cold realities, is less than £1 billion. That's not my figure, that's the government figure. Sounds like a lot, would rather not have it, that's true. But what is the cost of tax fraud? It's £70 billion. Now you tell me, is it more important to go for the 70 billion or the 1 billion? And the 70 billion is by people who are avoiding paying their legitimate tax. I'm not talking about hiking tax up even more. I'm just talking about simply paying what they legally owe. Why is this government not going after that money? There is money, they just choose to make the poorest and most vulnerable pay for the crime and the mistakes of the richest. Birmingham is home to the youngest population in Europe, but the message again of these Tories is that there is no hope. While young people should be entitled to a free education, they shouldn't be shackled in debt even when they have shown they work hard to achieve their grades, but then when it comes to employment have 0-hour contracts. That's a disgrace to this country. We can have an alternative, we deserve an alternative, and the alternative is within our reach, but we've got to fight for it. Thank you for coming here today. Let's stay strong and let's keep fighting. Thank you.